What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Combat Corporation, your source for combat sports. I'm your host, Al the Postmaster Morrow, and today I have a gear review on the Salvador HF training gloves. Alright folks, as always, I am incredibly excited to bring you yet another gear review, as today we have the Salvador HF training gloves. Now the HF stands for horsehair and foam blend, which is a new trend that's been happening over, I'd say, the last like 2 years in the combat sports world, and that is people want to have that fight glove feel when they train. So people are doing like quilted horsehair with a nice foam blend, so you can protect your hands and your sparring partners at the same time, and you can train in these on the bags and everything else. And unlike fight gloves, you can get them in the sizes that you normally get, like 16 ounces, 18 ounces, and other sizes such as that, instead of your standard 8 to 10 ounce fight glove that you'd get in professional boxing. And I personally am loving the trend because the few gloves that I have that are the horsehair foam blend, I have loved so far. And this is one of the pairs. If you remember, I reviewed the Bella series by Sabas, and I absolutely love those gloves. I still use them a lot to this day, and I started using these a lot to this day. And I want to say I bought these about a year ago now. I'd like to say it's almost been a whole year, and I've been wanting to sit down and do this review for a while. And I'm finally happy I got to sit down and do that because I have enjoyed using these. These have been part of my main rotation, and I absolutely fell in love with these gloves by Salvador. There's still some things that I'll talk about. Obviously, I don't want everyone to think that it's bias or anything, but I am a puncher, and I love puncher's gloves, and these are a nice puncher's glove made by Salvador. Now, Salvador, I don't know exactly when they started. I know that most of their equipment, well, all of their equipment is made in Mexico, and you can actually see here, and everyone always makes fun of me for the way I pronounce that. I know it's Echo in Mexico now. I said Echo in Mexico once, and people roasted me over an open flame. That's okay. But they primarily, when I heard about them, made customized stuff, and they still kind of do. But you can buy them off Box Up Nation, who has sponsored the channel a couple times. He was actually a fight sponsor for my professional fight. And he sells nothing but the best equipment, and this was no exception. And so when I saw he was selling the Salvador HF stuff, I at first was thinking, you know, maybe I'll just wait for a color to come out that suits me, and then this color came, and it's the citrus orange color, and you know I am a sucker for orange, and this is my favorite orange color here. So I had to pick these up. I want to say I got them in March of last year, so coming up on a year of having these gloves. I've used them. They definitely surpassed the time test, and I'm excited to review them. You can go on boxupnation.com and pick these up. You can also go on Salvador's website, and you can still order custom stuff, which I'm probably going to wind up doing for a Velcro pair one of these days because these are absolutely incredible. You can also go check out my buddy Jordan Miller on YouTube, has reviewed these, as well as I believe Fit the Box and C Squared. But Jordan Miller on YouTube actually did a really good job of breaking these down from Box Up Nation and stuff like that as well. The only difference in the model that I have is I changed the laces. I usually like circular laces, but I wanted long laces, so I use these long flat hockey laces, and they actually work pretty good with the eyelids here. But the model I have is a lace-up closure in citrus orange color, and when I tell you, it is kind of hard to get these from Box Up Nation because they sell out like that. I bought these when they were released, and I want to say within the next day or two they were gone in all sizes, and I think I saw them at 12, 14, and 16 ounces. I did not see them in a Velcro closure, but they do have other HF models in different colors in Velcro and lace up. Like I said, these are in 16 ounces, as you can see the stamp right here, and they fit my hand pretty good. But those are the sizes you can get. There's a bunch of different colors you can get, and of course there is the customization factor that you can put into the Salvador gloves. So that is the model I have. Going into the design and look of the glove, let's talk about the look of the glove. The whole glove is that nice citrus orange, except for the stitching, which is white. And of course, we come to the back punch surface. It's all that nice, really bright, vibrant orange, which is my favorite color on the planet. And you get that all the way throughout the thumb as well. There is really, you can't see the stitching that separates the thumb and the back of the hand, so there is no really difference there. You can just kind of see the shadow on the inside, makes it look black. And then on the back we have the Salvador. It's a sticker though. It looks like it was an ironed on sticker. It's not like screen printed like some other brands are. So this sticker is unfortunately kind of falling off. I'm not going to try and peel it, but just so you can kind of see, the sticker is kind of falling off a little bit. But you got that Salvador logo, which looks like an eagle or a hawk, maybe. I thought it was the Batman logo at first, but it's a Salvador HF in Mexico, and that's in black and silver. That's their logo. Going to the stitching, we have that double line stitching all in white, which highlights the orange really well. And you can see some parts of the leather here kind of sticks out. It's like the brown welted seam going on there. And you get that in a few different spots, just because I think maybe they couldn't get every single spot of it. And then, like I said, the laces that it comes with, I believe, were black. I changed them to the white because I think it highlighted the orange really well. The white and black checkered looks pretty cool with it, and it works really well. But going into the build of the glove, also I wanted to show this side too. You can see the stickers kind of coming off a little bit. So they probably use an adhesive and iron it over is what I would say. But that's really the only thing. And I already showed you the tag here that says 16. But going into the design of the glove, talking about the outer shell is some of the nicest smelling and softest leather. I think the softest leather I've ever had on a pair of fight gloves, or training gloves rather. And it feels nice and soft, and it is such a thick hide on the inside of this glove. I mean, it is so nice. And the other thing about it too is, like, I feel like the new trend that I see from brands like Bryant Boxing and Hit and Move and now these guys is that the padding itself almost has like a nice foam lining to it, which feels soft alone. So not only do you have that nice, soft, supple leather that's made so well, but you have the nice padding on the inside of the leather itself, which feels amazing to punch with. And you have that throughout this entire glove, except for the interior lining, of course. But it feels so nice all the way throughout, and you get that everywhere, which is awesome. Even the thumb attachment is nice and soft too. But going to the padding, you have that nice horsehair and foam blend, which is a latex foam on top of horsehair. The way it feels like they put the quilted horsehair underneath everything, and then they put the latex over top of it. And you can tell that it's latex by the way it bounces. You can definitely tell, boom, and it pops right back. But look, you see some of the indents like the horsehair you get with it. But the nice thing about that foam padding is that when I punch, it's cradling the horsehair in my knuckles at the same time. So it actually has nice protective qualities. The only thing is unlike thicker foams like the high density open cell foams, granted latex is an open cell foam, but it's not high density as much. When I really push down, I'll be able to feel my knuckle very easy. So if I put my hand on the inside, I can push down and oh yeah, there it is right there. You know, it's not nearly as bad as say like a Reyes training glove because the latex is kind of thin in the Reyes gloves and you can fit right through. The horsehair cradles it and so does the latex, but you can definitely feel every shot going through right here. And just the smell of that leather almost a year later it's so crazy. When I take these out of my bag and leave them in a room, like a small room like where I record my videos, it is crazy how the smell just lingers in the entire area, and I love that smell of just nice, really well-made leather. And it all looks so nice too, that nice uniform orange. They really didn't mess up there. The only thing about that is that the leather is so soft down here at the wrist cuff, which is just one solid ridge. I want to say some of their models had some of the 3 ridges here, but I prefer it this way at the end of the day. It's so soft that you can actually see where the lacing loop has been like latched for a long time and where the laces up towards the top have kind of scuffed on the inside of that. But other than that, I mean, it's not bad at all. The padding, it seems like one solid piece except for the thumb looks separate like a lot of other thumbs are. And I think that's so the thumb can have some different space to it. And this thumb definitely feels a little different from the knuckle padding. I think it's just because maybe you don't bang the thumb as much, but it's padded all the way from the tip, from the inside as well, where you have some breathing holes. And it's nice and soft, that thumb too. And it's really nice. I would say it feels similar to the latex on the back, but it is a little bit stiffer. I think once again, that's because you're not smashing into the bag like you are with the knuckles. The back of the hand feels the same exact way, but the way the thumb is, it's a fatter Mexican style thumb, but it curves and contours kind of like a Japanese thumb, a little bit upward towards the fingers a little bit more. But it is nice and fat and padded, so you're not going to have any issues of jamming your thumbs at all. When we come down to the wrist, in the palm, you have a very soft grip bar that feels like just kind of like your standard open cell foam, kind of like that insulation type foam feel here. It doesn't feel hard to me at all. It feels nice and soft. Then down here, once again, you got kind of like that insulation foam feel, but it's nice and thick down here. And it's awesome when you spar in these because you can catch like kicks and punches so well if you're doing partner drills. So it's really a nice glove to drill, and I absolutely love that. So you feel that here, and you feel that here, going all the way up to the palm, which has, like I said, thin padding in the layer of leather itself. And the leather is very soft too. Opening up the glove a bit more, I'll show you the interior lining, which I didn't see on the website what it said the exact lining is, but it feels like a nice satin liner that you get with like Reyes and stuff. I actually like this more than Reyes because it's stretched tightly, kind of like the winning gloves are, and I love that about it. And when I put my hand inside, it just slides in so comfortable, especially towards the top of the glove and the thumb. You can definitely feel that you are in a very soft glove and a nice puncher's glove, and you get a nice recoil off of every shot. You can definitely feel it, but I'm telling you, if you wrap your hands, you don't feel it as much as you do other gloves, but it feels like a nice fight glove if you ever fought in a horsehair glove or use like a Reyes glove to fight in or to train in. It has that nice recoil off it. And the other part is it cinches. You would think a lot of people really like the 3 ridges on the back of the gloves now. I personally don't as much. I think it makes the glove bulky and annoying. I like that this is a flat ridge at the bottom of the glove here. Let me pull that down. But when I do, and I take this and I wrap it, it feels so secure. My wrist feels in good place. My thumb feels in good place. The one thing I will say is, like most puncher's gloves, it is a little top heavy, so it's not the most well-balanced glove, but there's also been some worse. Let me show you. If I put it right in the center, right about here, you'll see that it will fall off like that. I'll try it this way too, just so you can see. Yeah, it's already falling over. But that's basically where a lot of the weight is. Yeah, it's already fallen. So that's basically what you have. It is a top-heavy glove. It's not as well balanced as some other gloves out there, but if you're a puncher, that's kind of what you want. You want forward punching pressure. And that's what you get with these. It is a bigger glove actually, so it covers pretty good area. It's so comfortable on the inside, and there's so much room. You can put a big training wrap on, a nice big fight wrap as well, and you're gonna have nice protection there as far as that goes. But the padding is definitely, I think, more protective than, say, Reyes. Between the horsehair and the latex foam over your knuckles, it feels really nice. So I really, really love how that feels. The wrist support is nice as well because of that soft padding on the back of the wrist is the same as the front. That nice, that nice foam that you get, that open cell foam that keeps it nice and padded. It's nice and thick too on the back. So overall, I mean, the whole glove feels protected for a puncher's glove, and it is nice and comfortable. Very flexible too, very easy to get wrist grips, back of the neck grips, top of the head, underhooks and stuff like that. Even for big glove MMA sparring and Muay Thai guys, I think would really love these gloves. But let's go into the bag work, and we'll talk more about how these gloves perform on the bag and the pads, how they look, and then we'll get my final thoughts on these. All right, so the combination of the horsehair and foam just works so well on the bag. When I tell you that you feel every single shot, it is so nice to just lay into the bag here. And obviously you see me kicking here because the weight transfers so well. I love when gloves can transfer so well, and these gloves also have very good grips for MMA and Muay Thai purposes. I get a real puncher's feel, and I'm actually able to wail into the bag as hard as I can you know, when it comes to these gloves because of the padded protection of the foam, but then you get that awesome fight glove feel with the Horsehair as well. So they're great for conditioning your hands for a fight if you're using Horsehair gloves. They're also great to protect your hands. So the first thing that you'll see with these gloves is that the leather is painted so clear. It just pops out in the gym. Everyone calls me the orange guy. I love orange. It's my favorite color. But I mean, this is just a very pretty citrus orange color. I absolutely love how these gloves stand out. And that logo sticks out too. It looks like a very sharply well-made glove, which is awesome. All right, folks, so my final verdict here on the Salvador HF Horsehair Foam Blend training gloves is I'm absolutely in love with these gloves. You know, I really for a long time wanted to make a top 10 video of what gloves I love to use the most, but the last year has made that very difficult because I have like 3 or 4 tied for #1, and Salvador is one of them. I would definitely say it's Salvador, Hit and Move, or Bryant Boxing right now are all up there in like my top 3 of which one would take the #1 spot. You know, even over Reyes, which is something crazy to say. You know, and I'm sure Salvador is really prideful in what they did here because they made a really excellent glove. And it's so baffling to me that even after all the equipment that we have and so many new things come out, a brand can come along like Salvador and you can put them on and say, that's a Salvador feel. This to me is a completely new thing that if I put something else on, I'd say, oh, it feels like a Salvador. You know, it's like when gloves try to rip off Winning or Grant, you can say, oh, this feels like Winning. Oh, this feels like Grant. This feels like a, you know, a Reyes rip off or something like that. But Salvador definitely made their own feel here. And I love that gloves and manufacturers are really starting to step in the direction of the Horsehair Foam blend. Because a lot of guys that fight in horsehair gloves, I mean, and a horsehair foam blend, I mean, one of the most popular fight gloves you see is an Everlast, it's the Elite gloves, and you see guys like Andy Ruiz fighting those, and Luis Ortiz fought in those a lot, and a bunch of other guys fighting those gloves, and they have a horsehair foam blend. Obviously, those are a 10-ounce glove for a heavyweight. But this is a great way to prepare your hands for it because you got the Horsehair Foam Blend. You can spar in these because the padding's soft enough and padded enough, in my opinion, to spar in them, not really jar your opponent too much because you have those 2 layers. And it's not like a fight glove that's going to have thin layers. You have 2 thick layers of one horsehair. And of course, you have your latex foam on the inside of this. That's exactly, I believe, what the description says is latex foam. But I mean, really the only way that you could make the padding any different, if you wanted to make it even better, I guess you could say, for some other people, would be put like another layer of like a Winning style sponge foam on the inside, like a high density foam. But I wouldn't even bother doing that. I think the glove is perfect the way it is, and Salvador definitely made their own design with this, which is awesome. So I absolutely love that. Talking about other things I love about it. The leather, guys, it smells, I mean, I take this out of my gym bag and it still permeates the room that it's in. The leather is so soft and supple. It has, for me, the softest leather I've ever felt. You know, a close, another soft leather is like Reyes and their fight gloves. Bryant Boxing has pretty soft leather, which is nice, but this, I mean, it's the softest, most supple leather I felt on any boxing glove, which is crazy to think. Honestly, the Winning Pro line has pretty similar leather in this sense, but this is even softer than that. The only downside to that would be, I wonder if it being so soft, if it would go in and break down the padding more, but I mean, there's no sign of bubbling on this. It looks exactly the same as it did when I took it out of the box, except for you can see like the lace and loop, like indent that it has here on the back. And that's the one thing down here is that you can kind of see that. But the padding on the wrist is nice and soft and it's nice and protective. So if you're getting like whaled on the arm and you got a fight coming up, it's not going to damage your forearm. It's not going to give you like, you know, dead wrist or anything like that. Same thing if you like kickboxing or Thai stuff. It opens and closes very well for a boxing glove. Very flexible. And it's also good with catching kicks because you got the padding going upwards on the wrist and a little bit on the inside of the palms as well. The other thing that's nice is the thumb composition. I love the fat thumb with a nice curvature. So it is in like a natural, it's as close to this as it's going to get. You know, because most gloves will like curve you here. This is as close as this is you're going to get for a natural fist. So when I put it on, That's the other thing, is when you put this glove on, the interior lining is so soft, like the inside here. It's like you're putting your hand inside of a Cadillac is the easiest way to word it. You know, it's like you ever just bundle up in a nice blanket, a nice, soft, smooth blanket. That's what the inside feels like on my thumb. It's not wearing out at all. It's not rough or rugged. You can definitely feel upward towards the finger compartments. It's a little bit stiffer than the rest of it, but I think that's so your fingers can stay nice and locked. But my fingers stay closed and my thumb stays closed, and I never ever smash my thumb here. And even if I did, it's so padded at the tip of the thumb that I'm not worried about that at all. And like I said, it feels like the same latex foam on the outside of the thumb here. They definitely stitched it off to the side so you have a different type of feel and different curvature. But as far as like the padding goes, it feels like the same as the back of the hand and the knuckles as well. But you can definitely feel, and you can actually hear, a lot of people might not be able to, but you can hear the horsehair on the inside kind of move. But it stays, not move around. Like with fight gloves, you can actually bat the horsehair away, but this is quilted and it's on the inside. And I think they layered it with the foam so the horsehair stays in one place. So that's one thing. The stitching is not frayed or falling apart anywhere, which is awesome. After a year of use about, I got these in March, so we're coming up on a year. I've had these for about 10 months. Or about 11 months. We're almost in February here. But as far as the quality control goes, I think the only thing I would complain about is just the sticker. I would just maybe do a better job in keeping the sticker on the back of the glove, which I don't think is a hard fix at all. And if I really wanted to, I would just glue it down. But I mean, I don't need the sticker on there to make it look any cooler than it already is. You know, all it would be is if I took that off, it'd be just an orange glove, which I'm not going to complain about either because orange is my favorite color. But overall, do I have any complaints about the glove? I really don't. If you're a puncher, these are a puncher's made glove. If you have brittle hands, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them to you still. Although if you wrap your hands, there's so much room on the inside, you can wrap your hands with a really nice boxing training wrap. The manufacturers definitely had that in mind to protect your knuckles. But I mean, overall, like, yes, I can feel my knuckles like a little tiny bit compared to like Reyes. You can like feel them right there, and you can actually feel the bones in the Reyes part. But this, you can feel it, but that foam horsehair blend, because you got 2 layers over your knuckles, definitely gives you like a good inch separation from your knuckles to the target. But if you wrap your hands in a big fight wrap or something like that, which I have done the tape and gauze in these as well, just to try them out and make sure that works. And then I'll wrap my hands big with, you know, the winning NG2 knuckle guards. You have lots of room to protect your knuckles on this. So even for a guy with like somewhat brittle hands, they might be worth a shot. It's not like Reyes. It's not going to risk your hands breaking like you would in Reyes. I think Reyes padding isn't nearly as good as it used to be. The newer Reyes gloves are weird to me. But I mean, the knuckle padding with these compared to Reyes, I think is much better, you know, and they feel really good. And I would put them up there. I wouldn't call them a hybrid. I would call them a puncher's glove, though they are pretty big, and you can do pretty good Philly shell stuff with these in the defensive style because of how big they are, and they're nice and open to catch with. So I guess if you were to say a hybrid, which I still wouldn't, but it'd be like a puncher / defensive glove, but I'm just going to keep them in the puncher's category. So if I had to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10 for a puncher, even the price, which is about $250, $260, which is what you're going to spend for a real good professional fight glove or a professional training glove that's going to protect you and that's going to last you a long time. I mean, this glove I see lasting me as long as my Reyes have, you know, upwards of 5 or 6 years if you're taking a really good really good job of taking care of these. I can see them lasting you for a very long time before you have to get one, so it's money well spent. You know, just think you're basically $150 off from winning. Grant, I wouldn't even think about Grant because they cost so much. But I mean, if you're going to think about Grant, it's another $300 off from that. I mean, I would buy one of these compared to 2 Everlast Power Locks or MXs any day of the week. I mean, I like these more than I do some top boxer gloves that are really good. Overall, the price point for $250 for a professional fight glove like this, or professional training glove, rather, I said that twice, a professional grade training glove I think that's right on the money. Between the leather being so well made, and leather's not cheap, horsehair is not cheap, and latex is not cheap. So you got some really, I'm surprised it's not more, to be honest with you. But $250, I'll buy it over and over and over again, is what I would say. So overall, I have to give them an awesome 10 out of 10. I am in love with these gloves. If you have brittle hands, maybe in the 8 to 9 out of 10 range, because you want to get something with a little bit better padding for your specific knuckles. But for me, if you're a puncher, guys, and you want a nice puncher's glove to train in, and you want, if you're a pro boxer and you want like that horsehair type feel, look no further. I mean, really, I like these more than I do the Bella series by Savas, although those gloves are awesome too. But I use these gloves all the time. I'm waiting for like this color to come out in Velcro, so I can get these in Velcro as well, just for the more convenience compared to the laces. But overall, these gloves are absolutely phenomenal. Salvador did a great job. The knuckle padding's good. Nice puncher's feel. Great wrist support. Great palm support. Awesome thumb positioning. The glove, for me, does an outstanding job of not only protecting a puncher, but giving you that awesome puncher's feel every day in your training room. So thank you, Salvador, for doing that. This was a really nice glove. I haven't given a 10 out of 10 like that in a while. But overall, you can get these off of boxupnation.com. I'll post a link in the description below. Let them know Al sent you. They'll take care of it. And they have the best customer support on the planet. They've sponsored the channel a couple times. He actually sponsored me for my first professional fight. So thank you, Box Up Nation. They did not send these to me. I bought them for $250 about a year ago. You can also go to salvador.com and check them out as well. I'll post that in the link in the description below. But for now, please like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way to help the channel, but above all, comment, so you can ask me questions about the product that maybe I didn't cover in the video, and so I can know what you want me to review next. I'd love to know. But with that said, guys, I really appreciate it. Follow me on all my social media that you can find in the link in the description below, and I really appreciate you all. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day, everybody.